So we're here at THP headquarters in the club lab, the THP Club Lab. Found this awesome Honma putter, but I played at 35 inches, and as it often comes, you find a lot of 34-inch putters out there. There's a couple options we have here. One, we can replace the shaft altogether. Seems like a lot of work tonight. Two, we can chop off the grip, and as most you probably have around your house, that that old wedge that you're not using anymore, it's sitting in the basement. One great thing about this is they have steps in it. And what you can do is you can chop that down to create your own. You can chop that down to create your own extension. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to add about an inch to the top of this putter, and then we're going to put a grip on it, and that's going to come from this wedge shaft here. So the first thing we want to accomplish here, obviously, is to get this old grip off. We're going to use our grip cutter you cannot see, and I'll bring it back when we're done. So as you can see, we have our grip removed. Not unlike the wedge shaft we just talked about, this actually has steps as well. So what we need to do is find the right spot on our wedge shaft, which would be here, to kind of get inside this putter grip at the top and try and match up that step. Once we do that, we can find the right distance and cut it inch to the top. Okay, so we now have the top of our putter, as you can see here, and our former wedge shaft, which has been cut down to the point where it slides in at the top of the putter. And this is where we create our extension. Now, your option are to stop where there's some resistance, or you can press it down as hard as you want and get to that final point, as you can see, to where it's not really going any further. Now that we're there, we need to determine that 1 inch mark. I don't know what 1 inches are. And then we'll make that final cut. We'll go ahead and put maybe a wrap of tape on it. Some people would choose to use some epoxy. Probably not the biggest deal at the very top hand of your putter grip. So that's our next step, and you'll see where we're at when we're done with that. Okay, as you can see, I've got a Sharpie in hand. The extension's already installed. The connection's right here. And then we've made our mark 1 inch above it. I went maybe just a little bit longer than 1 inch, maybe like 1.15 inches long. So we're gonna go ahead and make that cut there and then put some tape on and grip it. The one other thing I wanted to mention when you do make your cut, depending on whether you use a pipe cutter, we actually have a pretty fantastic bench grinder here that we used. It can get pretty sharp on the top side of it. So if you wanna try and score that, you can use some sort of sandpaper or something like that. The idea here is once you put your grip on, the last thing you want to do is give it that final tap to make sure it sets at the top and have that shaft go flying right through the top of your grip. So our next step is put some tape on, then we're going to go ahead and put a new grip. So as you can see, we got our putter here, move along the shaft, all re-gripped, ready to go. The one thing I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about is know your grips. So it's really hard to see in here, but there's actually quite a bit of depth between where the shaft ends and where the top of the grip is. So I think in this case, it's probably about maybe a third of an inch. So that's one thing you should definitely consider before doing your cuts. So we're gonna play this a little bit above 35. That's never a fear for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. There'll be a lot more content coming soon on